Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, welcome. Hi, my name is Sarah. I make a lot of special tutorials, mostly around Halloween time, some beauty tutorials, and a little bit of DIY in between. For today's video, I'm going to be talking about the newest launch from Wet n Wild, the Fire and Ice collection. I'm going to be doing a lot in this video, including a makeup tutorial, which is this that I'm wearing on my face right now, as well as my thoughts, opinions, swatches, all the things. So get ready, and if you guys want to see that, then just keep watching. So I have all these notes on my phone right now because this is a lot to get through and I don't want to lose my place or anything. So if I look down, that is why. Alright. So first we're going to be talking about the components and packaging and all that stuff. Wet n Wild is kind of renowned for their like sleek and very simple packaging, and this collection is no different from that. All these products do come in a black sleek casing that also has a clear acrylic piece on it. Basically just so you guys can actually see the product that you're buying. The lipsticks are exactly the same. You do get the clear component that shows you what color you're actually getting, but you also get the tops of them, the applicator component, that's going to either have flames on it for the fire part of the collection, or icicles coming down for the ice part of the collection. There are 14 pieces to this collection. There are 4 loose pigments, which is going to be Fire Rain, Ice Lady, Two Nights Blue, and Gilded Crown. 4 liquid catsuits, aka just liquid lipsticks. And that is Redlings, Shall We Slay, Icing on the Wall, and Queen's Blood. All of these are metallic as well. There are 2 highlighters. One is Winter Falls and the other is Halo Walkers. 2 bronzers. One is You're Dragging Me Down and Queensland. And then 2 eyeshadow quads, which one is Fit for a Queen and Mythical Creatures. Like mythical, but mythical because they're totally trendy with the kids. Oh, and of course they have a highlighting brush as well. I didn't pick up the highlighting brush, but I also didn't pick up all of this collection because one, it's super costly buying it online. They have the PR box online that I will obviously link everything in the description box down below. They do have the entire PR box collection online, plus they have all the products listed separately as well, so you can buy them all together or just separately if you'd like. And the second reason is because I know I say I don't wear highlighters, and I don't. But I really don't wear bronzers at all. I was actually thinking about getting one of the bronzers more for like a Halloween look rather than anything else. But again, I do not wear bronzers daily. I don't wear highlighters or anything like that. I may buy highlighters, and the only way I'll ever wear them is in like my inner corner for an inner corner highlight, but that is literally the only reason I ever even own highlighters. Whereas bronzers, don't own them. I've never been into bronzers and I probably never will be. This entire collection retails for $39.99 USD, and the brush is $5.99. Each of the metallic liquid catsuits are $4.99, which is standard for Wet n Wild. They are 20 ounces, so that's almost 0.4 ounces per dollar that you're spending. The highlight powders are $4.99. And it doesn't say anywhere on the actual product how much of the product it had, and I couldn't even find it online, so I'm not really sure. I kind of find it weird that once you take off the sticker to actually open it, if you want the name of the product, you have to keep the sticker. So that is kind of a downside to anything Wet n Wild, but regardless, it's real cheap. I just find it a little bit irritating personally. However, with the highlighter that I took the name off of, because I'm stupid, I did find it online, and the one that I have is Glow Watcher. Each loose pigment is $3.99 and you get 0.07 ounces. And lastly, the eyeshadow quad, which both of them have 4 eyeshadows each in them. And they retail for $2.99 each, which is a particularly good price in my opinion, to be honest. And that's less than basically any eyeshadow I've ever paid. Even with like ColourPop, it's still less than any single shadow. As for my thoughts and opinions on this actual collection, let's get into it. I think the fact that you get 14 pieces for $39.99, so basically just 40 bucks. I've broken it down, so each piece is $2.85. I know it's not a proper breakdown of it, but just to take into consideration, each product is basically just $2.85 if all of the products were the same price. I know it's not accurate, but it's just to take into consideration. If you were to buy them all individually, but like together at the same time, the total would be $57.87, which saves you $17.88. Again, this is all in USD. I am in Canada, but all the prices are listed on the site in USD, so I figured I would include that as USD. If you guys want to know the conversion, just look it up online. So the price for the actual collection is damn good. But getting into the actual products, I obviously did not get around to using all of the products in this tutorial, as you will see in the tutorial, but I did play around with quite a few, so I do have some thoughts and opinions on it. Plus I've already done all the swatches before I'm filming this, so I have seen all of the colors and everything in action. I do have some thoughts gathered, so let's get into it. These shadow quads, again, these guys right here, I find to be incredibly chalky, whether I'm dipping in with my hand or dipping in with a brush. All of them are pretty damn chalky, at least all the mattes are, or like the satin. The shadow I was most excited for was actually the most lackluster shadow of everything. It's actually the shadow I have on right here. It's essentially used as a topper, which I am super not about. I thought it was going to be quite a bit more pigmented. I applied it with both a brush and my finger, and both times it was super not pigmented at all. Manny MUA would be so disappointed. It is the eyelid color in the Mythical Creatures palette. I would almost consider it to be more of a eyeshadow topper rather than an eyeshadow in itself. The crease color in this palette is actually very nice. It is, I would consider it more to be a satin rather than a matte, but the transition color in this is nice as well. With all of these shades though, I did mention that it had quite a bit of kickback. It also has quite a bit of fallout. Specifically the crease color in this one, it had a tremendous amount of fallout. You'll see it in the tutorial that comes next after this, but all of it just came down right here. It took me 3 makeup wipes to go through all the fallout and I barely dipped into it, which I mean, it is pigmented, but there is such an incredible amount of fallout. I was really disappointed in that. As for the Fit for a Queen palette, I did find the Rust shadow to be the most amazing shadow out of all this collection. Actually, probably the most amazing product in all this collection. The Rust color, I was talking to a friend of mine and she said that she wanted to literally just get this palette for the Rust color, and I will never disagree with her ever again with this kind of thing, because the Rust color is extremely pigmented and amazing, and depending on the color of eyeliner or any base that you use with it is going to actually change the color, and that is completely fantastic. A downside of the Wet n Wild shadows is that they don't actually have names to them. Like, they don't have names on the backs or actually on them. They're just defined by where you can put them in their example makeup tutorial. Or makeup look, I guess. They just really say like transitions up here, eyelid, brow bone, and crease. And this one as well, transition, eyelid, brow bone, and crease. With this one though, it does show this as a crease color, although it does have glitter in it, so I find anything with glitter in it to not be a suitable crease color. Maybe that's just me, I don't know, but food for thought. Granted, with that being said, anyone who is just getting into makeup or doesn't know too much about it, which can coincide, but sometimes I don't coincide, it is a lot easier for them to pick up on it when it's written on the actual eyeshadow or like given examples on each of the quads. So I do find that to be helpful, just not specifically for me because I would prefer to just be able to have creative freedom with them. Moving on to the highlighter. There's a hair attached to that. Moving on to the highlighter, I did find it to be a little bit on the chalkier side, but the color is actually amazing. And again, I say this because I used it on the inner corner. I'm not going to talk anything about how it may or may not bring out texture because I did not get to use it on my cheek. For obvious reasons, if you guys have been on my channel for any length of time, you know that I don't wear face makeup, don't wear concealer, foundation, anything like that, no bronzers, no nothing. Unless it's Halloween, then I'll be using a little bit concealer foundation only for like Halloween looks. But I also do really like the shape that they've printed into this. I find it extremely beautiful and I really like the little bit of extra that they put into their products. Getting into the loose pigments, I'm a fan, and I'm really not a fan. Once you take off like the actual lid to it, this is the applicator, I guess you would consider it. It is the most difficult thing I have probably ever worked with in my life, to do with makeup at least. It barely, like the product in it does not come out even when you shake it almost like violently out. So I end up just like taking off the inner component applicator with my teeth. Super not healthy, do not recommend, but I did it with my teeth, and then only after that did it actually work out even a little bit. This one I'm going to say is definitely a matte pigment, which I was not expecting. I was almost expecting any pigment to be shimmer. Totally wrong about that, but this one I would say is almost slightly lackluster. I mean, it is the color that it shows, but this one is freaking beautiful. Oh my god. 10 out of 10 would recommend, maybe a 5 out of 10. And lastly, the lipsticks. All Wet n Wild lipsticks are completely certified vegan and cruelty free, so the warmer tones are going to be a little bit less than perfect, I'm gonna say. Because they aren't made with carmine, they're not going to have the pigmentation made from carmine. And if you guys don't know, carmine is an active ingredient in a lot of warmer tones because of it's a red pigment. It's made out of dead beetles, so of course it's not going to be vegan or cruelty free because they're literally just crushing up the beetles and they put it into whatever makeup product you have. So if a brand has any red in their collections, it's not going to be either as pigmented if it is vegan. You're going to need multiple coats to make it that opaque or to make it that pigmented as you want it. With that being said, as you add more layers onto a liquid lipstick or an eye look or anything that's going to have more of a drying down effect, it is going to feel like a heavier product. It's not going to be as lightweight, as well as them being a little bit drier on the lips as maybe, let's say, like a Jeffree Star liquid lipstick. They do dry down, but they also have that drying consistency and feeling on your lips. And if you're adding more and more coats, they're going to get more and more drying and more thick, which does give lipsticks a tendency to crack off if they get too thick. Definitely more heavy on lips by the time you actually get to the pigmentation and opacity as you would usually get with lipstick or anything like that. I would almost rather use these for liquid catsuits as more of a topper rather than anything else. Oh, that seems to be kind of an ongoing theme in this video. My favorite shade of the bunch though is Shall We Slay, which is the one I'm wearing on my lips currently. The rest are pretty patchy, I will say. Although that is it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.
Staring deep into your eyes makes it all forget.